John, was that a bit too close for comfort at the end there?
I think it's just about the result, Mick. You've asked me before about would I be disappointed about results against Halifax and Featherstone. You're disappointed, but you can wear it because they played well. It's really difficult to wear that, even though we've won, when we played so poorly. I think, congratulations to Swinton, who I thought really came here, showed desperation to achieve something. But I just thought we were disrespectful with our attitude towards the game, and it's been a terrible week's preparation, and I think that was reflected in the performance. And we've got away with it, to tell you the truth, Nick. So that's why when you speak and you ask me about purely results, it's about how you play, and we've played goddamn awful today. And I'll go so far, if George Flanagan hadn't gone on, we wouldn't have won. I think he's dragged the players on his coattails to victory, and it just shows as well how much we miss the leadership of Steve Crossley, when he's not there. They're so important in the group dynamics.
When you talk about leaders, George has really come up with a fine display of leadership.
He has, yes, exactly right, and that's what he's done. He's dragged the team home on his coattails. He's been absolutely magnificent. I don't really like singling individuals out, but he won us the game today. There's no doubt about that.
You mentioned preparations going into the game, John. What?
Well, I'm not going to tell you that, Mick. So I'll rectify that next week. But our preparation has been terrible, and there's been distractions. I'll give you one example. We couldn't print the tip sheets yesterday because the printer wasn't working. So things like that, which just makes it scruffy and untidy, and we played how we prepared.
In that first half, John, there was a number of errors which obviously contributed to doing more defending and a lack of energy.
I didn't think there was energy from the start. I mean, I wrote in my book that I have for what I speak about half time, I just put lack of energy. And we were, and in the first half, we go 12-0 up, and you're thinking, well, if they keep playing, we'll be okay. But then we give them 2 tries, there's a kick that should have been cleared, and there's a pass that was thrown onto God knows who it was thrown to, just thrown on the floor, and they picked up and scored, and all of a sudden 14-12, 12-10, we've invited them back into the game, and they took the invite. And the goaling thing for me, we've scored 5 tries, and so have they. Thank God Jordan Lilly's been kicking goals well.
How much work do you think you've got to do now,
John,
in the aftermath?
Massive amount. That's just not good enough. That wasn't good enough. And it's always better when you can really give them it from a position of victory, which we can. But I'll stick up for my players when they've played well and the results go, as I did against Halifax, as I did against Featherstone. But when it's unacceptable, I mean, it was like playing in a moratorium. It was. There was just no atmosphere, and we've got to help the crowd. I think the crowd sensed the team were flat, and I think that consequently the crowd were flat, and it's been a poor game. Finished at nearly 2 hours. The ruck speed was, well, you could have walked to every ruck. It's just been a god-awful game for everybody basically, except probably Swinton, who can take great heart from their contribution.
When we spoke, John, you were aware it was. They're fighting for
championship
survival,
a
potential banana skin, obviously.
Well, we've slipped, but fortunately somebody caught us. George Flanagan caught us, so we're okay.
And even at the death there, John, I think it was Rhys Evans and Brad England who brought down Brogan.
Meters away, and then we give them the ball away. With a set of 6, all we have to do is keep the ball and we drop it. So that's the type of thing that we've come up with today. Been terrible.
You mentioned George Flanagan. What other positives were there from today, John?
That's it. And we've won.
Fair enough. How important would you say is that you fix up the defence going into the last couple of league games and then potentially playoffs?
We've just had 40 minutes where we didn't concede a point against Newcastle. So we're feeling pretty good. But if you don't invest energy in defence, you get picked open, and that's what's happened today. And as I said, we gave 2 tries away. They invited them into the game. So it's been a goddamn awful performance.
What would you say is the biggest worry, the attacking third of it or defensive errors?
I think the biggest worry, you could probably say, 1 to 80. we're going to send the players the game to watch tonight, and I hope they watch it and they'll look at exactly what it looked like from the sideline, because it didn't look pretty.
And was it a case of kind of job done now, or are you more worried about the performance?
I'm more worried about the performance. Yeah, it's a performance-based, it's a results-based sport, but results come on the back of performances, and we've got away with one today.
I've got to ask as well, what was the feeling like when they made it 30-26 going into the final few minutes?
Well, I still thought we'd have got away with it, because I think there were only 2 sets left. We defend one set, get the ball, then lost it. So I was saying, well, do we really want to win this? I would keep going to give you opportunities to win it yourselves, and that's what it seemed like.
And how pleased are you for Bradley Ho, who made his competitive debut today?
I wish he'd have been in better circumstances with a better performance for the kids. So it was tough sending him out there when we're playing with a lack of energy and just a lack of purpose, really. So it's been a very disappointing day, but we've got away with it.
I counted 3 set restarts the whole game, John. Did it feel like a different type of game to you?
It felt just so slow. I mean, was it 10-5 when we finished? It's taken an hour and 50 minutes to play 80 minutes of rugby league. It's ridiculous. You know, it just seemed such a stop-start. It was an awful game.